Hello folks. So in my previous video, I explained how to install and also we seen how to download the Angular and install Node.js and how to open the file editors, how to run the application. This is continuation of my previous video. Previously we just seen hello application. It is running in port 4200. If you didn't get a chance to watch the video, I highly recommend please watch that video because that's going to be very basic. The steps to install the application and also create the your own application from using ng commands, because you're not going to create the template by your own. Already the Angular given all the templates, so you just need to create the template using the ng new command. And this video we will look at how we can add our own components. When I say own component, how do you create your own websites, where do you put your code, all the information, and what are these all the files here and what it mean. Okay, let's get started. If you look at these files, this is all created by Angular, and you see app, assets, environments, and there are some metadata. So usually the package.json, it's all the metadata of your package you installed, and it just holds all the information and version information. And usually we don't touch this file because it's not for us. This is for Angular to understand all the packages. And if you go to package log, this is more detailed version of all the packages we have inside. And we have that's a question, where is the all the package goes. So it all the package we install, it goes under the node modules. If you after you install the Angular, when you created the Angular application, if you go inside node module, you see all the package we installed, it sits here. But we are not going to touch anything manually. Whenever you install any new components or any new package, it go and sit inside, but you don't do it manually. It will automatically add it to this package and also add it into the metadata. So if you're just a developer, you want to develop application, usually you don't touch these files. You don't need to worry about it. This all metadata related items. The only place time you may need to touch it, sometimes you get a conflict in the packages, sometimes you when issues, you may need to look into the file what is there inside. That's a very rare scenario, but usually we don't do it. The place we play with that, every developers play with that, is the place called assets, environment, and app. And app is the most important place where we place our code. So it's a application code. If you go inside, you will see this default components created by Angular. um, you see app routing model. So basically the app routing model, what it indicates, we don't use it right now, but in my later videos I will explain how to use it. So basically what it mean, when you click some page, when you click routing, when you say okay, when this component clicked, take into this page. So you will define set of routing in this module. So for example, I have a website, I have a button. When I click the button, where the page is routed. When I click anchor, and when I click that, where this page should take it. Basically, it's a mapping of component and URL. Yeah, we will see later videos when we develop the specific web application. You'll understand it. And this is all basic. So every component you create, this routing components and app model components is kind of a global level components. And this four files, css, html, and specs.ts, and app component ts, it's all specific, or and what to say, it's a local components. When I say local components, you can create any components, it will have these four files. So you know that all the css contents related to your html you create, it goes here, and all the html you create, the files goes here, and all This is testing. We'll get into this later. Mostly you don't use it unless you wanted to do some testing. And this is another important file. This is the TS file. What it means is TypeScript. It's like a JavaScript, but advanced version of JavaScript. You write all your programs inside this. This is a main or important file. So the more frequent use, the app component TS, app component CSS, app component HTML. And if you look at the index.html, this is the index file. It default the Angular trying to access. So you can also change it later, but index.html, the file, look at this one. So this open default index.html. You did not specify here because it's a default behavior. It always look at the index.html and it opened the file. You'll see how we can replace index.html with your own component later, but I hope you understand what it meaning of each one, at least some high level. When we go and develop our own component, you will understand what it means. Okay, let's do one thing. Let's this is the default page they given. Look at that, nothing. So let me delete this page. Let me add some header. Hello, this is my first Angular website. Let me save it. As I said, when you save it, the Angular default recognize the changes and it refresh the page. When you go back, look at that. You did not refresh, it got refreshed automatically because Angular recognize your changes. If you make any new change, it recognize. Refresh, you get this website. So this portion you're going to add all your HTML related components you can write here. But when you develop the enterprise level application, you're not going to build everything in Angular. So you in Angular, what it means, you need to create as a separate component and to put together everything, create a website. What it mean, for example, when you come to enterprise level web application, right, what it actually it looks like, it will looks like you will have a header, you will have a content, you will have footer, you will have some menu bar, you will have left menu. All the things will in the available in a website, and we don't put everything in a one page. Let's say, let's look at this, the previous example. Let me refresh. So look at that. We got welcome is a header file and use a small components and inside, and usually we'll see that footer file, and many application will see left side menu bar. And how do you create that? And we don't want to create the entire page in index.html. So that's why the component coming to picture, where you need to create a component for individual component, let's say individual portion of the website. For example, I will have a component called footer that I will add all the code for footer. I will have a component for header, and that header holds all the header related the HTML and related TypeScript. And I will create a component called the menu bar or left navigation menu that will have all the menu related for the website. So finally you put together everything, then you get a website. That's a specialty in Angular. Let's look at how we can create the component. Okay, this component is default component. When I click this one, look at that. So what it does actually, if you go to HTML, it includes app router, and also it includes the what is this app route of so app root. Look at this. So you can include, so this is, just think of this is a separate component. So what they have done, because just if you look at deeply, you understand HTML, this index.html has nothing. It's just a few lines of code it just has the header and a few values, that's it. It has nothing. Where is this data, all data coming from? Right, let me do one thing. Let me simply remove this one and do refresh. You get nothing because the index.html has nothing. It has just the title and just like a link for image. This one, it has nothing. So when you include this app root, it comes the whole page. Where it comes from? This comes from the app. So how will we know that? We see this is a app component, app hyphen root. So look at this, click, you see this, right? This app component, the entire component is added in this tag. So whenever you create any component, so let's also look at how we can create the new component. It's very simple, I will explain. But to understand, maybe a little bit confusing if you are new to website development, but as we go developing component and associate, you will clearly understand how these whole things are working, because we create a separate component and put together everything, and it creates a sort of a very good big website. Okay. Okay, let's do the one thing. So let me explain the app root component. So this data coming from this component. Just when I say component, it's not just a single file. It's a consists of four files: CSS, HTML, TS, and this app component TS. Okay, when you create a new component, it will also create the four components. So basically, you're gonna put all your HTML code under here. So this is the real website you see here. This all the contents are coming from this app component.html. Okay, so let me just remove everything. Let's see what's gonna happen. You get nothing, but still you have the index.html. The reason is the index.html included this app component and the HTML coming from this app component.html. That's why after you remove this one, you did not get anything. Let me put back. Okay, let me save again. I get the data. This is what the Angular does. Let me do one thing. Let me write my own content. Let me do a delete. Let me add h1 from app component. Let me save that. It compiled. You see this? You did not modify index.html. You just modified app component.html because you included app component.html in index using the app root. So app root, where do you see, how do they know recognize app root? It recognize using this app root, because this app root actually is the main file. Like it just control everything. Okay, so this is the component CSS, HTML, TS, and spec TS. Okay, let's go ahead and create our own component, then you will understand how it really works. uh, in my next video, let's talk about how it works in the new component. I hope you understand how the files looks and what is the meaning and the use of each file. Next video we will create a new component like app component, and we can include here. So it will be good to understand how the own component created working along with the other component. Thank you all for watching. If you like it, please subscribe and also like it. Thank you.